Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So we're here for the second episode of the Wheel of Time. So where we left off last week is Moraine, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She kicked ass, just went full on Galadriel, and you know, without her, and you know, especially her, but everyone was involved in the effort. Probably everyone in the city would have been slaughtered. So I think everyone in town has her to thank for the most part. And the Trollocs had kidnapped the town wisdom. Yeah, I went and learned what some of the terminology was after the first episode. I still am going to have a hard time pronouncing the names, but I do have a list of the names written down in front of me. But the current wisdom, Nineveh, you know who I'm talking about. She was kidnapped by the Trollocs. I assume they're under orders from this character named the Fade, who in episode 1 we just seen on horseback briefly in a cloak, and his face looked all fucked up. Meanwhile, Moraine has got Egwene, Rand, Perrin, and Matt to join her to go to the White Tower because she suspects one of them is the dragon reincarnated or reborn. And back in the day, apparently the dragon caused a whole lot of pain and suffering and brought the world to heel. And for whatever reason, she's under the impression that one of these four is the same person reincarnated. I assume that means they're going to be capable of great power like she is. But none of them seem to know any different because you don't remember your past lives. And I don't think any of them have any magical training yet. I can't really remember if they did anything like supernatural. But anyway, we got Egwene, Rand, Perrin, and Matt. And they've all joined Moraine and her significant other, Lan. It says Al Lan, but I don't know. Other places just call him Lan. So I'm going to stick with Lan. Sounds a lot easier. But that pretty much sums up where I'm at right now. So let's get into episode 2 of the Wheel of Time.
Nynaeve, she thinks I'll be able to listen to the wind if I work with her.
Nynaeve. I still don't know where they filmed the show. Okay, so everyone's wearing white here. All the tents are white. White and gold. But no tower in sight.
May you always walk in the light, sir.
May you always walk in the light.
Tried this.
Nothing about that looks desirable.
There's a brutality to the dish.
Well, she don't look
Because
happy.
the flavor doesn't come only from the bird.
Can't blame her.
It's bone. Don't be afraid, girl. And I said I should know above all others that sometimes brutality is the only path to mercy.
I'd be interested to see how you get from brutality to mercy, or get mercy out of brutality. Alright, so we got a full-on opening this time. Well, the Trollocs didn't lose the scent in the river.
Walls won't stop Trollocs. The only thing they fear is deep water.
I wonder they smell like piss.
I assume they're going to be far enough if these fuckers can't swim. Let's see. No one's going to help. Just watch it drown. That was fast. Okay, so let's see what this Voldemort-looking guy can do. I'm told That's the Fade. Does he not have eyes either? Apparently not. Damn. Well, that looks delightful. Okay. He screamed and made everyone else start growling.
Servants of the dark. The riders of Fade. A Fade can force a Trolloc to do most things, but they won't cross that river. Come. We'll take you
Okay.
safely to the...
Whirlpool.
We need to help him.
It's gone.
Completely expendable to her.
We'll find a place to rest while we can. Be careful, everyone. There are things more dangerous than Trollocs in this world.
Can't wait to see some of them.
They need their strength.
So do you.
Okay, so
Just imagine if Nynaeve was here.
does it weaken her every time she uses her magic?
They say the last dragon broke the world, but the next one will save it.
Well, I heard the dragon's gonna have wings. Looking round at you lot, I don't see a feather.
Forget what you've heard about the dragon.
The story of the dragon sounds a lot like the prince that was promised from the Game of Thrones series. How it might be a man, it might be a woman. They did a lot of crazy stuff back in the day, but this new one will conquer the world or save it from the Great Other, the Night King. Just depends, I suppose, on how the coin falls.
Are you going to kill us like you did that ferryman?
Good question.
What do you know of the Three Oaths? If I had allowed him to take his ferry and cross the river, what would have happened?
The Trollocs would have killed him.
Yes, and then?
Followed us.
Exactly.
The power inside me.
What do you call it? This skill that wisdoms have to predict the weather.
Meteorology. So is she sure that Egwene is the dragon now? Or is she just
Look at
taking
the
a
star.
shot in the dark? Or testing her?
Look at its surface.
And
It's clear.
if she is sure that it's her, then why keep the other three
Like water
around?
of a river. Surrender. Let yourself drift.
Is she hypnotizing her? So if he's hurt, could it have been like a venomous wound?
Do you think we'll ever go back?
Home.
They never do in these stories. Maybe at the end.
No.
I hate it when that happens. So I'm thinking Rand needs to contact his doctor because that shit ain't normal. Nightmare. And it's a dead bat. Yep, I'd freak the fuck out too. Many dead bats.
You saw them too.
But it was a dream.
Did anyone speak to you?
There was a man, eyes like embers. He didn't say anything.
If this happens again, you tell me straight away. Dreams have power. More than you know.
But what does a man do at the White Tower? Other than become an errand boy for the Aes Sedai?
Go where you will, then.
See, how come I don't believe you'd actually let me do that?
I've run out of patience. And time.
She didn't answer his question, so apparently that is all there is for a man to do at the White Tower, is to be an errand boy
You got
or a
ring.
warder
Happy?
for the Aes Sedai.
Sutra. Moiraine has done nothing but protect us. Tried to keep us safe. Don't you see how pale she's getting? How weak? She's using the one power to keep our strength up at the cost of her own.
Okay, so
And she does it. Even with you being the stubborn
it's confirmed that it costs her own energy to use magic.
Do not speak unless spoken to. And try to answer any question as truthfully as you can. Do not mention the White Tower or Aes Sedai. I am a lady from a fallen house. You're under my care.
But other than that, as truthfully as they can. White Cloaks?
Are you headed to Whitebridge?
Yes, sir. I have a sister in the city who we hope will let us stay.
They've mentioned White Cloaks before. I'm guessing this is them.
South?
All those who seek passage through our land must be properly questioned.
This isn't your land.
Children of the light hold sway wherever men walk in the light. Where did you say you were
Children
from?
of the Light.
They say the White Tower dispatched 8 sisters to deal with Loghain's army to the south. They can't help but get their fingers in others' business. And those others usually end up dead.
So the White Tower dispatched 8 sisters. She's clearly one of them.
It was a monster, sir. 8 feet tall with a mouth like a boar. A group of them overtook the village we were in.
I don't know what a Trolloc
This
is.
is in the borderland.
No, sir, no, west of here, near the
Describe a
mountains.
Trolloc without saying it's a Trolloc. So it seems like the White Cloaks and the Aes Sedai are kind of feuding, but not an open war. And then there's the Fade and his band of Trollocs that don't seem to be aligned with either one of them. And I still don't know what a Fade is, other than that guy with no eyes and no nose.
That White Cloak, you lied to him. You can heal that wound.
We can only heal others. Not ourselves. That's why we usually travel together.
And you have a sister in Whitebridge?
All Aes Sedai are my sisters. We will always tell the truth. It just may not be the truth you think you hear. So listen carefully.
Yeah. So they speak in riddles, like elves. And they can't heal themselves, they can only heal each other, which is why they like to travel in packs, which makes sense. I wonder when a sister of the Aes Sedai fully expends her power or her energy, and what happens then? Does she pass out, or does she die? Or does her magic just stop working, but she's still awake? We'll see what happens when that instance comes up.
But Eldrine had drawn more of the One Power than any woman could ever hope to wield, and it burnt her right through from the inside out.
Okay, so that's what happens.
That White Cloak. I think he's the one who killed the others.
Did you not see my sister's rings? 7, no. He's not the only one who met a face he'll remember today.
Okay. So is the ring like the source of her power, or does it help her channel it, or is it just a ring that signifies her power? Must have some power, because Egwene was able to do that whole sound of the water thing with it.
I'm not going to be Nynaeve's apprentice because she's dead. And so is Layla. And here we are in the middle of nowhere being chased by the monsters that killed them, and you won't even look at me.
Layla is Perrin's
I just want you to look at
now
me.
deceased wife. Now what happens if a wisdom does wed? Or has children, or otherwise breaks those rules? Are they like magically bound? Are they physically unable to do those things? Or is it like the Night's Watch where they could be kicked out of their order? Well, that's not good to see in the woods. A goddamn wolf pack. Yep. They're around him. When you see them in front, they're already circling you. Ooh, they see he's wounded. So is he going to make friends with this wolf, or the whole wolf pack, or is he just going to get a pass? Okay. So he got a pass. for whatever reason, they saw him as a friend, or perhaps no one they wanted to fuck with. They didn't show fear, but once they checked him out, all the aggression went away. Awesome.
You have to move. Up, up. Wake up. Hurry, they found us.
Yeah, she noticed. Will she wake up?
Carry her. She can't move. We need to get her out of here. Right. Where? East to the fallen city of Starlagos. Go.
Guessing she's just in a deep sleep because she's trying to recuperate her powers. And they really got the drop on them.
What's happening?
I don't know, she just stopped.
Not the best time to stop horses.
Bella, come on.
What is that?
It's the wall.
Wait, look, the Trollocs.
Could that be the White Crossing?
What's inside?
Convenient. I mean, it's convenient that they won't even follow them near the wall. I was going to ask, how does a crack like that happen in a wall that big? Like, the crack's not wide, it's goes straight to the top, but then I answered my own question before it came out of my mouth. Magic.
She's barely breathing.
Pretty cool set design here. I'm curious how much of this is digital and
Stay here.
what's practical as far as the buildings, the sets, exterior shots. Is the wound getting worse? I can't really tell.
Sounds like the old tongue.
Well, I guess that's the problem.
Shadows waiting.
Why she won't wake up, because
It's called Aradol.
it's getting worse.
During the Trolloc
I don't
Wars,
think anymore that it's just she's tired of using her magic, so she won't wake up.
A couple of things. One, that's more words than you've said or probably ever. And two, why in Light's name did you bring us here?
Touch nothing. Eat only the food you brought.
Now he tells them. 5 minutes in. Don't touch anything, by the way. Feel like people suffering from grayscale are about to jump out and attack them. That's a Game of Thrones reference, by the way. I didn't catch the name of this abandoned city.
She always said she didn't make weapons, she made tools.
So that could be a workaround of creating weapons, since you're not allowed to make weapons that are lethal. If you convince yourself that you're only making tools, maybe that works. Oh, Lila wasn't an Aes Sedai, so that's completely irrelevant. But still, I wonder if that would work if an Aes Sedai were to make tools, if they would be allowed to. They're here. Or someone is. Or this is a dream. The horses seemed nervous a minute ago, and now they're just silent now that he's outside. So who's in town with them? Is it Gollum? A box. So what do we got? A dagger. Oh, that can't be good. Okay. Yeah, I'd get the fuck out of there too.
Where are we? You've killed us all.
Ah. She does not seem appreciative. It's like piranhas. And how it's, looks like shadow and acts like piranhas. It reminds me a lot of a episode of Doctor Who. So I was thinking it was the shadow was moving, but it looks more like it's spreading. Can't get through doors? Oh, that's lucky. No, maybe not. Looked like the gate was about to give way. There we go. I wonder if only a little bit of that shadow gets on you. Is that enough to kill you? Could it like spread from there?
Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, we can't leave without them.
Pretty sure we can.
Yeah, make like the horses and get the fuck out of that place. Who needs a boat when you got a handy log? Okay, so it looks like everyone survived, except for that one horse.
If you don't take me to them right now, I'll slit your throat.
Okay, I am not sure who that was. I can't remember if she was in episode 1. So that does it for episode 2 of Wheel of Time. Apparently that episode was called Shadows Waiting. But there was a apostrophe in shadows, so it's like the waiting of the shadow. How they mean it, that's what I'm gathering. So the shadow is waiting for them. I'm sure we're going to find out more of what the fuck that shadow is, how it got there, and why doesn't it ever leave. Maybe the walls are... Well, it got on the other side of the wall, but I guess it can't cross the river. Yeah, because they said there was no entrance through the walls originally. Someone, made that little opening at some point. So not only do the shadows not go into the water, but the Trollocs can't swim either. So it seems like more and more that rivers are going to be pretty pivotal in this series, because that's 2 episodes and 2 lethal enemies that we now know are impeded by water, deep water at least. Yeah, so the 3 oaths that the Aes Sedai have to take was that they can't kill anybody, they can't lie, and they can't make lethal weapons. But I'm wondering if... Not only did I bring this up in the episode, but there was a character that was sworn, like magically sworn, to make her incapable of making weapons anymore, but she figured out a workaround where it was her talent doing it, but someone else's hands she was working through, so it was technically him making the weapons, because she was not able to, but she was the only one that knew how. I'm wondering if that could apply for the Aes Sedai in this series, where if they convince themselves they're simply making tools, very sharp, pointed tools, if they would be allowed by their rules to do that. At which time maybe they could also imbue them with some of their magic. I don't know exactly the extent of magical abilities in this series, or or necessarily what the rules all are for them. I'm just going to call them the White Cloaks. I'm not sure if they have a more official name, but it's obviously very, very self-explanatory. I was maybe white robes, but White Cloaks, I guess, is what they call them. They don't seem to be on good terms with the Aes Sedai, but not bad enough to where they see the woman on the road that's injured, and they recommend her go find the Aes Sedai because they say they are the only ones that could heal her. So I don't know if they're all evil, or if that one guy was evil that burned the woman at the stake. or if they're all like extremists or in like a cult where they believe they're good but they do evil things. He said reaching uh, using brutality to achieve peace, I think he said. So it might be something to do with just their point of view where they see themselves as the good people doing horrible things and justifying it for whatever, maybe religious reasons. I don't know, but time will tell with this. But what else I got? Oh, the White Cloaks tend to call themselves the Children of the Light, or at least one person referred to them as Children of the Light. And they, you know, reference the light in their like greetings and their goodbyes, like "May the light be upon you" and shit like that. It, I'm guessing is the light source of magic, or is it like a deity, or like I don't know exactly. I'm not sure if anyone else referred to the light except for them, or if that's also the source of the Aes Sedai's power. I can't remember all the details, or if magic comes in different forms or packages. Like if one group of people might call magic one thing, another group of people might call magic another thing. I'm not sure about that yet. But other than that, that's about where I'm at so far. Um, I'm going to try to get the next 2 episodes out, or at least recorded, as quick as I can. And then, by then, honestly, episode 5 will be out, I'm sure. But I am hoping to outrun the show's release schedule and get to hopefully react to the last few episodes of this season live, and that way I could post them ASAP instead of what I'm doing right now, trying to play catch up. But in the meantime, like this video, subscribe to the channel because more Wheel of Time is coming, and then I'm going to be moving on to something else. But in the meantime, I'll see you in episode 3 of Wheel of Time. Fuck off.